Now, the other day, Post Malone said something regarding his own music that I think is worth discussing. And it's pretty much his own opinion of his own music, so without wasting any time, let's check out what he said. So the interview he did is with a electronic cigarette company called Blue, and I'm only mentioning this because the interview doesn't have a lot of views for some strange reason. So if I am gonna use a clip from their video, I wanna at least give them a shout out, and of course, I'm gonna leave the link to the interview in the description below. And of course, definitely check it out, it's genuinely a good interview. But this is what Post Malone said regarding his own music.
I don't think I make the best music ever. I think it's just relatable, and I just want to be like just somebody that people can listen to whenever they're going through some shit, like, cause I've been through some shit, so I'm just like right there with you.
Now, as you could hear, Post Malone mentioned how he personally doesn't feel like he makes the best music ever, and he thinks his music is just relatable and his only focus is relating to other people with his art. Now, you would think that there's not a lot to talk about when it comes to what he said, but when you actually take the time to think about it, there's a big discussion that can be started from this. And the discussion is, how does what an artist thinks about their own music affect what kind of music they make? Because we have a lot of artists in the hip-hop culture who in different times make their music for different purposes. As an example, let's take Kendrick Lamar and his song I.
And I love myself. The world is a ghetto with big guns and dick inside. I love myself, but they can do what they want whenever they want.
According to K. Dot himself, he made this song because he wanted to dedicate it to prison inmates and suicidal teenagers.
I wrote a record for the homies that's in the penitentiary right now. And I also wrote a record for these kids that come up to my show with these slashes on their wrists, saying they don't want to live no more.
For the longest time, ever since he came out, people have always put Kendrick in the category of rappers who are gonna quote-unquote save hip-hop. And I'm only saying quote-unquote because I don't believe that one person can single-handedly save hip-hop. But of course, that's another discussion for another day. But when it comes to Kendrick, when he first came out, people were just craving for the idea of a conscious rapper finally taking over the mainstream. Obviously, another artist who came out the same time as him is J. Cole. But apart from that, there wasn't really a lot of conscious rappers breaking through and going mainstream. And since Kendrick had the ability to do that and all of his music was deep and meaningful, hip-hop fans were really just embracing him and loving him as soon as he came out. So he's always been put in that savior kind of space, and I think he's clearly been well aware of it. Now, of course, relating this to Post Malone because that's who we're talking about here, I think just like Kendrick, Post has always known his place in hip-hop and just music in general. Although he doesn't make the best music ever like he himself said, he's definitely one of those artists in music today who's absolutely dominating exactly his lane. Another person and artist who Post Malone is very similar to is none other than Squad. I don't think you realize how long I've been waiting to do that in one of my videos, and I finally did it. But let's talk about Fetty Wap. Here's one artist we can definitely compare Post Malone to. Obviously, Fetty Wap isn't that popping at all anymore, and I think you know that if you've seen this video right here, aka one of my most successful videos on this channel. Just in terms of style and how the music sounds, the line we can draw between these two is endless. And when it comes to exactly what type of music both of these guys make or made when they both first came out, Post clearly was the more diverse one, and he took advantage of his ability to incorporate different styles and turn that into something beautiful. If Fetty Wap did the exact same thing, or at least branched out a little bit more and explored himself more as an artist, I honestly think that he could have been up there with Post. I wanted to bring up Fetty Wap here because just like Kendrick is most likely extremely aware of his savior position in hip-hop, and Post Malone is aware of what he's best at doing, which is incorporate different styles in his music and creating something that's universally loved. Fetty might have been a little bit confused when it comes to that exact aspect, and I think in general, knowing where you stand when it comes to whatever you do, it has its power. Even though Post Malone might tell the world that he doesn't think he makes the best music ever, I'm 100% confident that he definitely knows what he's good at and he knows his place. He knows his strengths and he knows exactly where he should go and where he shouldn't go. Now, do you see how I turned one little thing Post Malone said into an entire video? Well, I did that just because I know these are the conversations that really matter, and I'm definitely interested in what you have to say about this. When it comes to an artist like Post Malone or whoever you have in mind, do you personally think whatever they have to say about their own music reflects into their art? And also, when it comes to Post Malone himself, do you agree with him when he says that he doesn't make the best music ever? Or do you maybe not agree with him? Definitely let me know in the comment section below and let's have a discussion about this. But as always, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. This channel is all about bringing together people like you who enjoy music and start a discussion on different topics like this. And of course, like the video if you enjoyed it, follow me on all my social media accounts. It's on the screen, and I'm out.